I had never seen a motel that had cottages on both sides with a beautiful home in the end. In 1996, when the Selena movie was filmed, we were very close. We have a property up the street, and we did see a studio production happening, and it was very exciting for this area town.
As a second assistant director working on the film, the locations department needed a little help. As I was traveling down on W.W. White Road, I saw several hotels or motels on the side of the road, and I said, oh my God, this looks almost like the Days Inn. So I saw one, it was a Super 8 hotel, and I looked at the Days Inn, and it pretty much looked identical. So really, after so many years, 20-something years now, I've never spoken to anybody about this. My name is Danny Ramos. I'm a producer and director here in San Antonio, Texas. I worked on the Selena movie in 1996-97, and as an assistant director, second assistant director. And there's the story here. I was working on a film in Austin, Texas called The Big Green, and it was a feature film, it was a Walt Disney film as a second AD and second unit. And I got the call from one of the producers and the production manager on the Selena film saying if I was interested in working on that film because Abraham Quintanilla, the executive producer, was really supporting the Latinos and the local San Antonio crew and cast. So he was trying to use a lot of talent pool from San Antonio and a lot of crew members from San Antonio, and my name came up, and they reached out to me, and I was flattered and honored to have worked on the movie Selena in '96. So it was a great moment for me in my career, knowing that I just got into the Directors Guild of America, and here I am now working on a Selena movie with Warner Brothers Pictures. So it was a great honor, and knowing that I have met Selena and went to her concerts in the past, it was a blessing, and I absolutely took the job as a second assistant director. As a second assistant director working on the film, the locations department needed a little help. Now, Michael Delheim was the location manager. He did a brilliant job. So he found a lot of locations here in San Antonio, like Splash Town and Bun and Barrel, somewhere off of Austin Highway, and the motel that was shot, I think, on South Flores or South Presa Street out there, and the Alamo Dome and Sunset Station and Poteet, Texas Strawberry Festival. So Michael Delheim covered it all. But unfortunately, there was one location that no one knows about. We had to find that one location in San Antonio. We couldn't afford to move the company to go to another state or another city because of the budget. And also because it was difficult, because the Motels Association and hotel associations were kind of spreading the word to other motels and hotels, saying that they did not want to allow us to go in their hotel and film this so-called death scene of Selena. But as you see the film, Selena, you'll know that there's no blood. She's not walking into the lobby. We don't show the gunfire or any of that. So what happened was, as a second assistant director, they needed a local guy, someone that has been in the business for a while, like myself, to help Michael Delheim, the location manager, and Leighton Chapman. He was also the location scout. They were everywhere around San Antonio. And a lot of places, a lot of motels and hotels were saying absolutely not. That they got a memo saying, do not let the Selena movie be shot here at this hotel. So I said, well, I'm going to drive up down W.W. White Road in Rigsby area and see if I can find a motel. And that looks a little something similar to the Days Inn in Corpus Christi. Had to have that kind of trees and the way the hotel looked, or the motel. So as I was traveling down on W White Road, before I hit the 35, IH 35, I saw several hotels or motels on the side of the road, and I said, "Oh my God, this looks almost like the Days Inn." So I saw one. It was a Super 8 hotel, and they had told me, "Whatever you do, don't go in there and talk to the management. Let us know if you find something. Call us, and we'll go talk to the management." But as I was going out to that location and I saw the Super 8, I started to take a couple of photos, and the manager saw me, so I encountered with him, and he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "No, I'm filming. We're going to be filming this movie, and I loved your hotel, and we would love to shoot here." And we went inside and we talked about it. And he goes, "So tell me about the movie. What's this movie about?" And I said, "It's a movie. It's called and he goes, "Is this the Selena movie?" And I was like, "Yes, this is the Selena movie." And I remember Michael Delheim told me, "Don't talk to anyone." And here I am telling them already. So I was afraid we're going to lose this location. And he goes, "Well, I got a memo saying not to let y'all film here, but I don't care. We're slow. We need the business, and you can film here all you want." And so I called Michael Delheim, and I said, "Michael, you're not going to believe this." I called Leighton Chapman, and they reached out to the producers. They raced over here. But we were in a bind because we were already filming the movie, and we were already in principal photography, and they needed to lock that location. That was the only location that they needed to lock down, and that was right here in San Antonio, right here off of W White Road. The Alamo Dome, when we were filming there, that was a big deal because we had to get the radio stations involved, and extras came in, and so we're at the Alamo Dome, mocking it for the Houston Astrodome. That was a big deal for me. It was very overwhelming. It felt like we were at the Astrodome. We made it, we transformed it into Houston. So it was a great opportunity to know that that was the opening of the movie where Jennifer Lopez comes out with the blue curtains. And so working in that situation and seeing how all the extras came around, those are some good moments there where I was happy to be involved in some of those locations. In the Selena movie, there's several motels besides the motel, which is where the ambulance and Selena and Yolanda saw the bar in a parking lot, which is here at Super 8. But the other motels like Motel 6, and also like the Wyndham Hotel, we off of I-10, we did some scenes in there. But that particular one's over in the downtown central area. We chose those areas because it has that good feel of being in the barrio, being in the neighborhood, and making the film authentic. It was close to the Papagayos restaurant. And so that kind of said, well, and when you're scheduling films, that barrio feel, that neighborhood in the south, in the central south of San Antonio, was a perfect locations to pick a lot of different areas where you're not making too many company moves, and we're able to move to the Riverwalk, and we're able to move in front of the Alamo. So that hotel and worked out perfectly, and so as well as Poteet, and so it was just a beautiful, perfect kind of rundown motel, but it was beautiful for the film. Personally, the way I see it, as far as Warner Brothers or Abraham Quintanilla and the producers, or even the director choosing San Antonio as the location for the film and not other cities, was basically just, in general, Selena loves San Antonio, and San Antonio's love Selena. I'm not saying that Dallas and Houston did not love Selena. I'm just saying this was more of a familia down here, and Tejano, just the music itself, this was the capital, and this still is the capital of Tejano music. And Selena was right in the forefront of it all. So Selena was the queen of Tejano. What better place to shoot her film than in San Antonio. And I really believe that that's where it came across. More of the Latino outpour, the outcry. I mean, it really hurt a lot of San Antonians when Selena passed away, just as it did around the world. But San Antonio, we felt like she was part of us.
Hi, my name is Letty McCardle. We are at Motel 3 Johnson Court in beautiful San Antonio, Texas. There is a story here. I would drive up and down on my errands, and I was really drawn to the beautiful cottages. I had never seen a motel that had cottages on both sides with a beautiful home in the end. And so I was just drawn, and I had to drive in one day and speak to the owner to see a different type of cottage motel. I was really intrigued and became friends with her. And at some point, she offered the property for sale, and I accepted. In 1996, when the Selena movie was filmed, we were very close. We have a property up the street, and we did see a studio production happening, and it was very exciting for this area town. So yes, I did know about the Selena movie being made, and we were so excited to see the final product. The scenes that were shot here were of a bus exiting the property onto South Presa. Also, we saw Jennifer Lopez and the other actors converse and play. It was a beautiful scene. There's like 3 or 4 different scenes coming out of Motel 3. You know, we get a lot of visitors who have come just because they remember this property from days gone by. We had this elderly gentleman come by with his wife recently. The wife had passed away. The gentleman was in his 80s, and he remembers stopping here with his wife one day right after they married down in the valley. They drove through San Antonio on the way to Austin. They stopped here and they spent the night. This was their honeymoon, one of their days in their honeymoon. And he could exactly point out which cabin he stayed. And he had tears in his eyes. And then I had tears in my eyes. And so we have visitors who, not only the Selena movie, but this motel has so much connection to the people driving by and stopping for the night in a nice, comfortable setting. So Motel 3 operates presently as an extended stay motel. We rent weekly. It's basically for people who want temporary shelter between apartments or homes. But the beautiful thing is that we actually have customers that have been here 10 years. They stay 1 or 2 weeks, and they feel like it's home to them. I've been told that they feel a community, and that makes me feel awesome because that's exactly what I want. These cabins, this courtyard, it's their home. They want to meet each other, they want to eat here, they want to stay here, and it's centrally located in the area of the city. So weekly turns into years, and that's just how we like it. Motel 3 is very involved in the arts and culture of San Antonio. When we purchased this property in 2005, we were asked to be a host for an art venue. Each cabin was used as an art installation, and it was a wonderful event. We had a great time hosting that for them. And since that point, artists are drawn to our property. We had photo shoots here. We had a indie movie made here. We've also had countless people just come and want to draw and paint the property, and I believe it's just because it's historical. It's something that you actually don't see very many of anymore because many are being demolished, sadly. And my husband Douglas and I decided early on that this was a property that we were going to renovate and we were going to refurbish and we're going to keep as original as possible because it is very special. And I can't emphasize that enough. And I believe that it's something that should be saved, and that's what we're working toward.
Hi, I'm Shannon Miller, Director of the City of San Antonio's Office of Historic Preservation. There's a Story Here is a partnership between the Office of Historic Preservation and Texas Public Radio that crowdsources fun, obscure, meaningful, and previously untold stories about San Antonio's people, places, and events. If there's a story you think more people should know, visit sapreservation.com/TASH and tell us about it. You can upload photos and audio and link to articles and other pages with more information. Just be sure to tick the box indicating that you want to participate in There's a Story Here and include your phone number and an email address so that you can receive a marker for your story's location. Need some inspiration? Read what others have already shared by visiting sapreservation.com/TASH. Thanks again for joining us for this episode of There's a Story Here. We'll see you next time.